Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Man's No Bull Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Brew Gentleman Brewing Company out of Braddock, Pennsylvania. This beer is called Deep Brunch. This is part of their, if I can get this off here, there we go. This is part of their one-off series. That's how you can tell on the tag. This thing right here, the little keystone with the zip code on it. That's part of their one-off series, so they might not ever make it again. That's why when I was up there, I just got a bunch of these to review because I didn't know if I was ever going to get another chance to review it or drink it for that matter. But yeah, this one's called Deep Brunch. It is a coffee cream ale. It's 4.8 ABV. So they have three other beers that are kind of in the same lineup or whatever you want to call it. They have Deep Breakfast, which is a coffee stout, but it's like 3%. It's very, very low session stout. They had Deep Lunch, which was, I don't remember what the ABV was on that, but that was more of like a regular 6 to 7% stout. And then they did Deep Dinner, which was an imperial stout with coffee. So this is kind of a different take on it because it's a cream ale with coffee, but it is brunch, so it's in between breakfast and lunch as far as ABV. So it actually, the name makes sense. I've not had this yet, so I'm pretty excited. Sometimes I like, sorry, saw something outside. Sometimes I like coffee blonde ales. I mean cream ale, I consider it the same thing. Sometimes I like coffee blonde ale, sometimes I don't, but I definitely have faith that this one will be good coming from these guys, so let's see. Man, I can smell the coffee from here. So as you can see, it pours a cloudy golden color. It's really not any darker than that, with about a finger's worth of really, really fluffy white head. So there's a lot of really nice, like deep roasted, fresh, like good quality coffee, not like gas station coffee. None of that green pepper kind of stuff, but I'm definitely also getting like the beer underneath, which usually in these you don't because the coffee is such a strong flavor compared to like a light beer. Usually it's just pretty much a blonde. It's just a coffee flavored drink that looks like a beer type of thing. But I am getting like the underlying grainy character of this beer. It's almost like a little minerally, yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like minerally, which is really interesting. I wouldn't expect that from this. Let's see. Wow, that is fantastic. If someone said, here's the challenge, make a light coffee beer that has a significant non-acrid, non-green pepper, fresh coffee taste, but at the same time have a really nice clean beer flavor underneath, that whatever base beer you want to use, and have the weight of each one be pretty much 50-50 as far as what you taste. And I can't imagine anyone doing it better than this. I have never had, and that's just off of one sip. I'll keep going after I drink more, but I've never had a coffee like blonde or a lighter beer with coffee that was this balanced. Now I've had ones that were just straight coffee, so if you just love coffee, you would probably like that better, but I've never had one that was so balanced between the coffee flavor and the beer. And it's also one of those things where it really is a tale of two beers, if that makes sense. A lot of beers like this, you know, sometimes don't like them because it's kind of like either one of the two things dominate. Like, A, it's just straight coffee. Doesn't mean that it doesn't taste good, but it's just not, I don't know, nothing that special. I'd rather have a coffee stout. B, it hardly has any coffee taste, and then it's like, what's the point? Or C, it seems like the flavors are kind of fighting each other. But this is the complete opposite of that. It is the first, like, second or two is just all coffee. I get, like, no beer. But then the rest of the finish is pretty much all beer and hardly any coffee. I don't understand, like, I'm really intrigued at how they did this. And I don't even know if it was intentional, but, like, other than tasting a tiny bit of coffee, like, just on my tongue after I've swallowed it and sat for a little bit, it's so crazy that, like, the beginning is all coffee and the back end is almost all beer. And it's just like something slices through and completely changes the beer. And I've never had a beer of this style, like a coffee light beer, be like that. It's really crazy. Honestly, if I can think of a brewery that could do something like this, it would probably be Fauna Flora, because they're really good at taking, like, really light, crisp beers and adding certain flavors to them, but not dominating at all, but also definitely tasting it. They would be a brewery that I would think could do something like this, but I am just absolutely blown away by this. You know, unless you hate coffee, like, if you hate coffee, you wouldn't like this. But even if you don't mind coffee and you like a nice crisp beer, like, I feel like you would still like this. Yeah, and I mean, as you can see, I've crushed through at least half of this already. This is so good. I'm really glad that I got a fill of this. I mean, if I was considering not getting a fill, I probably would have tried it on tap anyways, and then I would have had it and realized how good it was and got a fill, but this is some really, really impressive stuff. These are the things that really, like, obviously stuff that's barrel aged and whatever, and like true wild ales take a lot of skill. But something like this that's so balanced, that it's so easy for one thing to dominate over the other, or just be like a muddled mess. To get it perfect, like 50-50 balance, is really impressive. And I have a feeling, like, I know this is a one-off, but it kind of almost feels like they've tried this a couple times, because I don't know how they would have got to this flavor without at least attempting to try it a couple times. But this is absolutely a buy for me. This is by far the best beer of this type of style, like coffee blonde or whatever, that I've ever had. It's not even close, to be honest. And if there ever was, like, I know some people don't like breakfast beers in general, but I don't generally drink them either. But if the occasion's right, it makes sense, and I generally like something with coffee in it. Sometimes people don't want, like, a stout, like something big, even if it's a lighter stout in the morning. So, like, this would be a perfect example of a nice compromise. So I don't remember. This is either $8 or $9 at $7.50. So definitely not cost prohibitive at all. It's worth the money for sure. And if you're around the area anytime soon, definitely get a pour of this or a $7.50 of it, or even trade for it if this sounds like your type of thing, because I guarantee you will not be disappointed. This is really good. I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.